What up, everyone? Happy Facebook Live. Camera went on me again.
Yes.
So here's the deal. We don't have a Fox newscast right now. Baseball is going on. The Yankees and the Red Sox. Red Sox just had New York tie it up.
Joking.
Yep, that's right.
I'm rooting for Aaron Judge. I want to see him get the record.
Well, what's going on, everyone? Happy fall, y'all.
Yes.
Officially fall. Can you believe
Yes.
it? That's right. Temperatures were rather chilly today, as expected, with that front coming in. We mentioned that. So you guys can direct the conversation. What do you want us to talk about here?
Yeah.
First of all,
Anything.
we had a nice storm spotter meeting.
We had a fantastic storm spotter meeting, and everybody just, go to Colby's page, ignore whatever he just posted right now if you do, if you are friends with him, because I don't want that photo to be released to the public.
It already was.
It already was. Now, here's
and
the thing.
you just told everybody about it.
Exactly. That's true. Okay, but the photo will not be released to everybody else unless Arkansas loses to Texas A&M. Is that correct?
Right. I guess so. But what does that mean that happens with me if Arkansas wins?
There's got to be something, right? There's got to be a trade-off.
There's got to be a trade-off.
Exactly.
Bag of burgers. I eat a whole bag of burgers. I can do that on a normal day.
A bag of burgers on live stream.
All right.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can do that while talking.
While talking. Yeah.
So the weather was amazing today. Incredible. So David had a good question. All right. So why do we hear two dates for fall? Some say it's 9/21. Some say it's 9/22. Well, believe it or not, the autumnal equinox occurs at different times each year. It's not always the same time. Mm-hmm. This time it was approximately 0104 UTC. 104 UTC, which, by the way, means that it's past midnight. So it would actually be the 23rd of September in UTC time. Now, before you get all confused, we're 5 hours behind that. So therefore, you subtract 5 hours from, 1 in the morning, and what do you get?
8:04 p.m.
8:04 p.m.
Yep.
Now, some people said it was 8:03, and I've seen on internet sites, autumnal equinox 2022, 8:03. I've seen some places say 8:04. I'm like, well, which one is it? 8:03, 8:04. It's due to some rounding of seconds, but really it's 8:04. 8:04 is closer to the time. But that's come and gone. It's fall, and it feels like fall. And the dew points will not stay low for the entire week because they start coming back as we head throughout the end of the time. So to answer your question, David, 9/21, maybe a couple of years ago it was 9/21. Now today for this year, 9/22 was in fact. And then sometimes you see 9/23, but 9/23 is for the UTC because after midnight changes to the new day, but we're still 5 hours behind that. So there you go. That's UTC time in a nutshell.
Depends where you are on the globe.
That's right.
Yes.
Which is why meteorologists do use what's called universal time code, or Zulu time, or Greenwich Mean Time. Is there anything else? Or Z time?
Z time.
Yeah,
basically what it is. Yep. Yeah.
So basically what it is it's a universal time, and then you subtract the amount of hours for your time zone. So you know what it is locally. All right. I don't want the heat to come back. Today was perfect. Today was amazing. Considering how cold it was, or how hot it was yesterday, and how cold it was today. Now, what's interesting is I don't think this cool down was advertised by others as much.
It was not.
And including some forecasts, it showed like mid 80s. I was like, I don't think we might get out of the 60s during the afternoon.
And the thing was, we reached our high temperature, like we said yesterday, early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the temperatures throughout the afternoon hours dropped in Northwest Arkansas. We were down in the mid to upper 60s by the time we got to 4 o'clock. So, we reached our high in the morning, and it definitely was not in the middle 80s this morning. It was in the lower 70s at my house.
Yeah, it was. And you had rain too.
And it had a little shot of rain right on top of my house too. So,
all right. So I got a question here from Jacob. Why do Invest start at 90, e.g. Invest 90L, and not 91? Well, that's just the way they label them. 90 to 99 is the way they do it. And then L and E and G are basically your numbers or your letters.
Yep. And they represent where it is, which basin it's in.
Yeah.
So L would be Atlantic.
Atlantic. Yep.
E would be the Eastern Pacific.
Yep.
And then there's W.
W, which is a Western. Yeah. You have EG as in, for example.
Yes.
Invest 90L.
Yes.
So there's your answer there. Clear as autumn fog. Yeah. All right. So John has a great question. When are we going to do a folklore update? I know John loves winter. He loves the winter predictions, as do many others. So we're not doing that until October.
Thought we already saw some woolly black caterpillars.
Woolly worms. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think John has as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You know, everybody gets all worked up on these folklores, and a lot of them can ring true.
Yes.
But really, the weather's going to do what it
It
wants
does.
for the
Yes.
winter.
Farmer's Almanac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They already came out with their winter prediction.
Yeah. Well, it depends which one. Is it the Farmer's Almanac or the Old Farmer's Almanac?
I believe it's the Farmer's Almanac.
There's two.
Yeah, it was the Farmer's Almanac, and it was cold and snowy,
Of course it
Up
is.
here.
Imagine that.
just like every year.
Yep. And so we'll do that in October. All right. Lowest I've seen my temperature on my car all day was 64. It was so nice.
That's just perfect.
So David asked about the coming days. We're going to get to that once we get caught up on the comments, because we will be doing that. What countries are considered? What counties are considered Northwest Arkansas?
United States.
You know what? That is really a good question, and that's a question that we kind of take for granted. Just
Yeah.
basically to say, well, that's easy because of what we deal with all the time. And why aren't these clearing off? What's going on with this? I'm going to close this out. It's acting really
Some
funny.
trash.
So what are the counties that are Northwest Arkansas? Well, let me show you here and we'll load this up. So we've got, essentially, we're going to kind of zoom out. So Northwest Arkansas, in my opinion, and it's really not a definitive demarcation in terms of, or definitive kind of area outline. But what we'll do is we'll take off some of these temperatures just to give you an idea here. So, all right, everything's gone. So Sierra, here's your question answered. What we've got here is Northwest Arkansas. Oh, great. I can't.
Arrow.
I can't.
No arrows for this.
I can't do it like that. I can do it here. You'll just have to have the temperatures on there. What I consider Northwest Arkansas is north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Bobby Hopper Tunnel right here is in southern Washington County. So I consider these 6 counties Northwest Arkansas. That's Benton County, Washington County, Carroll County, Madison County, Boone County, and Newton County. This, in my opinion, is Northwest Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense because if you've ever traveled on the Bobby Hopper Tunnel and I-49, south of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, it's beautiful weather sometimes.
Yes.
North of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, it's like almost immediately when you cross that county line, it almost incredibly immediately turns different.
Yes.
The weather's just totally different.
It's built different.
So Benton, Carroll, Boone, Washington, Madison, Newton County. This right here is Northwest Arkansas, Northeast Oklahoma, Adair, and Delaware County. So Delaware County is the top one. Adair County. We don't cover Ottawa. It's too far away from our weather coverage area. And then you got Eastern Oklahoma, which is really Sequoia, LaFleur County. The eastern sections, very extreme eastern Oklahoma.
Yes.
River Valley counties are basically these, as you can see, 5, 6. So these 6 counties. You've got Sebastian. That's Crawford. So this is Crawford, Franklin, Johnson, Sebastian, Logan, Scott. So this is kind of the River Valley. Now there's the Washitas, which is southern Sebastian, also Logan County and Scott County. So this is kind of the Washitas area. LaFleur County also has some of those mountains as well. But when we say Northwest Arkansas, we're talking about this area. It's kind of a small area. This is Southwest Missouri. So there's a long breakdown, Sierra, which was really actually a good question. Got yard work done? No. There's Folklore and the LRC. That's a whole nother animal. LRC is the long range cycle, and it actually does a pretty good deal. And it really does work. I expect to see whatever happens this winter. That's exactly.
It's Same here.
Folklore and the Magic 8-Ball, same thing. No, the 8-Ball is way more accurate. He doesn't like the 8-Ball.
I don't like the 8-Ball.
No better than we do. That is so true.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Harrison and possibly Eureka Springs overlap with Springfield. We know that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The reason that we have Harrison on there is because if they can watch an antenna, they might be able to pick us up because our antenna is located right here at Posey Mountain. And I don't want to leave people hanging that are in our far eastern weather coverage area. All right. So before we get to the hurricane activity, which will be obviously late next week where it really starts impacting us, I got to let you know about something that's coming up. It is called the Northwest Arkansas Emergency Preparedness Fair. And you know how there's severe weather any time of the year and many things that can happen. This is the information that you need to know. It's the 17th annual Northwest Arkansas Emergency Preparedness Fair. It's this Saturday. There's also blood drives on Friday and Saturday. That's tomorrow and Saturday for the Red Cross. And there's going to be severe safety tips. I'm doing a presentation. We'll have some storm spotters. We just had the meeting.
Yep.
There'll be some vehicles so you can see what storm spotting is like and what the vehicles they use. We'll have a tornado machine there. We'll also have a VR experience where you can see what it's like to have your house hit by a tornado.
Yes, and bring the kiddos after that.
Yeah. Bring the kiddos, and they'll get to see that, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Super young kids might not get it, but I'm thinking
maybe a little
like
too
6 or 7 years old
Yeah.
might be probably the youngest.
And
with it.
also got chapstick. as well.
Yeah, we got the lip balm.
Lip balm.
You got it.
Yes.
Major possible hurricane in the Gulf next week. Okay, Jake, let's
Certainly
talk
looks
about
possible.
it. Let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
It looks possible.
Let's go into it here.
I'm buying it.
What are the reasons you're buying it?
Because of its
I mean,
track.
I am
because
too.
of its track of where it's going.
Very warm
It's
water.
taking the worst possible track in terms of
where it
how
starts.
warm the water is and the conditions that it's going into. The environment is favorable, not a lot of shear. It's looking pretty scary.
Question is, where is it hit in the United States?
That's exactly what it comes down to.
We've
right
got to
now.
figure that out.
Does it stay going to the north, or does it take a northeast turn to Florida? Right now, that's where I'm leaning.
To Florida?
I'm leaning towards Florida because
the west coast of Florida or the Panhandle?
The west coast of Florida.
Okay.
And the reason why, and we were talking about that, was because of the trough of low pressure that may dip down to the south right around the time when that hurricane's moving through, which would push it that way.
That's right.
So it looks like a pretty big time, certainly something to watch here still, for sure.
No doubt about it. Panama City will get hit again, unfortunately. That's what Jake says. Well, there's a lot of uncertainty on
tremendous
that,
amount of uncertainty.
Yeah. But with that being said, it appears that Bermuda is going to miss the worst of Fiona.
Still
So-
hurricane warnings, though.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
expecting this,
But not right in the eye wall. Not on the
Thankfully.
worst of it.
thankfully,
Yep.
yes.
Not on the worst of it. You can kind of see how Fiona's starting to ingest some dry air. But here's what's interesting about this. Look at this giant trough of low pressure. Now, back in the 60s, there was a thing called the perfect storm. And the perfect storm is what the movie with George Clooney is all about. You had Hurricane Grace. You had a low pressure system because of a very large trough of low pressure. And those actually kind of converged and
Yes.
formed and basically developed into three objects. And then that ended up strengthening this storm.
Because when you think about a trough interacting with the hurricane, usually it pushes it somewhere else. But in that situation, it, like you said, convergence happened.
Deepens the low.
Deepens the low.
Yeah.
Yep.
A good Stephen King movie, The Perfect Storm. Yeah.
Yes.
I just remember that scene when he's trying to climb the rogue wave and he takes the boat straight
Yeah.
up and stuff like that. Now, that might not have exactly happened.
Maybe exaggerated.
Of course.
But it wouldn't be entertaining if it was.
But there's a look at the GOES infrared satellite, and that's the latest on what's happening with Fiona. Fiona is actually going to be pretty bad as it makes its way into Nova Scotia.
It's going to,
Newfoundland.
there's going to be way more impacts
Big.
up there than Bermuda.
Really
I'll
going to
tell you
crush it.
what.
Yeah.
It's direct path.
I mean, it does not look good. And it goes like right through here, and then it hits Greenland too later on
Yeah,
as
that,
it continues north. That's pretty crazy.
definitely hoping they're evacuating everybody.
Oh,
up
wow. Oh wow! Did you see that at the very
I
end?
did not. I didn't see that.
Look at this explosion of thunderstorms right there.
Already.
That didn't take long.
That
It
did
looks
not
like
take
it's pretty sheared right
It
now,
is sheared.
and it is.
But it won't be once it gets a little further to the northwest.
All right, so loading this up. This is a Invest 98L. We're going to get the newest update that we might not even have a box show to do. So there's Invest 98L, meaning 99 will be the next area of interest.
Which right now they are outlining an area that's coming off of the coast of Africa right now that's got 40 to 60%.
So
Yep.
in 7 to 10 days, we got to watch this.
Yeah.
Bad. This is not good where it's developing. Now, spaghetti models will show you exactly where this is thinking that it's going to track. So you can see how they all pretty much have consistency that they're going westward around the Bermuda High. And now,
wow.
That is
that
really
was
changed.
That was not before. See?
And that's what I was
before.
telling Lisa.
Yep.
I think it's going to bend and turn east, and the Keys, west of the Keys, in my opinion, this is what I think, and this is still a ways out, and this is by no means an official forecast. You got to know, obviously what's happening with the National Hurricane Center.
Yep.
They're really good at these tracks. Once they name it, we'll be able to get a cone of uncertainty and all that stuff. You can already get it online, but our system doesn't. I don't think. Does it do?
I don't think it does.
Cones of
Cone uncertainty. Now, I know there's certain other weather companies that have already released a cone of uncertainty, and not only have they released a cone of uncertainty, I'm not going to say who it is.
Yeah.
But not only have they released a cone of uncertainty,
this is what's going to happen.
They also have the intensity of the storm, and I think that is just very, very.
What do they have? A 1?
No, they have like a 3.
Okay.
Like a 1, 2, 3, and then it's got it going.
I just didn't know what they had for strength.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you'll notice, it does take this curve to the right. Well, that's the trough of low pressure that's moving in, and that's going to push Hermine, which will become Hermine very likely. And so look at the explosion of thunderstorms. Though.
That just happened.
That just happened. Boom.
That's a sign. That is the sign.
Well, we'll see. New updates coming out here real soon.
Well, and two, even when it's a tropical depression, you get a cone of uncertainty. So as soon as it becomes a depression, we'll start getting a cone.
I'm gonna eat watermelon in front of the fireplace until I pass out. No sound.
He's joking.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's right.
Or you had to get the earwax out of your ears.
Yeah, exactly. Or get the orange, get the Oklahoma State orange.
Yeah,
out of the brain.
He was messing with Brandon's ear though.
Yeah, there's a picture right there.
All right, so let's look at the 7-day forecast. Tell you what's going on here. So we'll show you this as it loads up. So a couple things to note. Number one, we're going to warm up a little bit tomorrow.
Yes.
And why is that?
Out of head of the front, compressional warming. It's going to happen.
The front came through, but now it's back. It's returning
Warm
back
front,
to the north as a warm front.
Warm front's coming back north. Yeah.
We got upper 80s on Saturday. It warms up, so it will be a little warm for the Preparedness Fair during the late morning into the afternoon, but it'll still be good.
It won't be nearly as hot as what we felt this week.
Oh man, yesterday. I'm so glad that we played in the Pro-Am at 7 a.m.
Dude, before the sun.
Afternoon rounds.
Before the sun even came up over the horizon.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there was all this mist and steam on the course because all the dew from that morning, right around 11 o'clock, it just went up. And you could just see the steam. So I had a question about Fiona, and rightfully so, we got to do the track on that. So let me show you what we've got here with Fiona, the tropical track. So there's the very latest one. It's updating here soon. You can see how fast the eye, see how fast the eye has already made its way to the north. And then you'll notice here becoming a category 3. So we'll zoom out.
And then extra tropical.
So it's going to be approximately a category 3 or 2 as it makes landfall.
And it'll probably be extra tropical in nature.
Oh, yeah. It'll be extra tropical in nature, but it might take a little while to get there. So if I go back here.
Man, it's going
to move.
That's zooming.
It's going to absolute book. Select all keyframes, delete. All right, so there it is going by Bermuda. Let's go back here. And so I think it's got it as a 3. Yep.
Yeah.
3. Whoops. Whoa.
Water.
There you go. And then it continues northeast and weakens somewhat, but it's going to bring quite an impact to Nova Scotia. So that's what we got.
Is this the newest path too?
No,
This is the newest.
not the
cone?
newest one. Still 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
What is the what's the path have it going? Does it have it going all the way up to Greenland?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I mean, tornadoes in Greenland.
Yeah. Potentially.
So if we
Yeah.
look at some spaghetti models, well, last time Canada got hit by a Category 3? That is a good question.
Well, now I did see something on Twitter. Now I don't know if this is confirmed or not,
Yeah.
Dan, but if the models are correct with the system, it would be the lowest pressure ever recorded in Canada if this system hit the way they're projecting it to hit. So
Huh.
that may be a clue
Yeah, I can.
Something.
I'll show you something
Yeah.
here. What it does.
because it was like a 912.
HRWF, and we'll look at Fiona. And
Wow.
whoa, man, that is wild.
It's 921.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
922.
I'm gonna share this so you can see what we're talking about. Share screen. Share window. All right, so this is the. And we'll bring this up full so you can see what we're talking about. All right, so this is a look at the what's called the HRWF, the hurricane forecast. And you'll notice here that we're going to move along in time, and 926, 923, 921, 917, 913.
Wow. Wow.
That's because of that trough.
Yep. Because look how it got enhanced.
So if we go to
Yeah.
winds, if we go to lower dynamics and we look at the mean sea level pressure and wind, east of the circulation, Newfoundland is getting slammed. Look at the winds.
Storm surge
We're
potential.
targeting 96. Is that knots or miles per? That's knots.
That's knots.
Golly, that's bad. Look at going back in time.
120 mile per hour winds. Wow.
A 917, 913. That's crazy. That's bad. That's bad. That's no good. That is not good. Let's go back to the HRWF and pick a new storm here.
What's a good comparison for this storm? Like, what's a good
I think the perfect storm.
perfect storm? And yeah, certainly looks like it's shaping up to be like that. And it's that trough.
Look at that core. So we can go here and then go to
Best.
I was looking for when it would show the cat. Wow, look at that.
933. Well, you're looking at, let's see here. You got white showing up in the middle there. That's like
That's
almost
a perfect symmetrical storm
Yeah.
too. Wow, man, that's Invest 98L. That's going to be her mean. But look at how close it is to Florida. If we go back a little bit,
Well, now this run here's got it going a little bit further to the west. Notice that? Now
Yeah.
it does start taking that northeast turn, though. It looks like at the very end.
right at the very end.
Right
yeah.
at the very end. See
Oh
that?
yeah, that's definitely taking a northeast turn. Now it's a little bit too zoomed in my opinion, because we got to see sometimes a little bit of a wider view.
Yep.
So let's go back in time, and there you see it kind of turning and almost making a straight right turn, headed right for Tampa.
That's not good
Nope,
at all.
nope. With a
And-
935, is that what that is?
Yes, that's not.
Are we coming up?
Game's over. So yeah, you might wanna-
Game's over. All right.
But it's not gonna be that long of a show.
Yeah, no, it won't be long at all. Okay, the baseball game's over. That means they're coming out to us pretty fast, and the Yankees pulled it off. It looks like. Yeah, let me bring that up here. Oh, where is it? Stream. Here we go. All right. So, anyways, we got to run. And I wonder if Hurricane ever made it all the way up to Greenland before. That thing's incredible. I know.
It's amazing.
Warmer Atlantic is feeding it. Do you remember Hurricane Huron from 1996? I don't. I'll have to look that up. Yeah. I prefer winds out of the north and east in summer months. Changes to southwestern. Yep. Maybe it'll find Oak Island. When was the last time Canada got hit? Kids coming from Houston. Friday till Sunday. Do they need coats? No.
Nah.
In the morning, maybe a little bit of a light jacket. Will it affect NFL games?
You
We'll
might
find
not
out.
have a newscast.
Oh, really? Are they doing posts?
Because I think what Josh was saying, like
Yeah.
53 something is like when we
Did Aaron Judge hit a
when
walk-off?
We have a show. Huh?
Did Aaron Judge hit a walk-off?
No, it was Judge. It was
Oh.
somebody else.
Okay.
Someone had a
Well,
walk
he
off
should
bottom
have
of the
been the
ninth.
one that hit it.
Dang it.
Well, I think that covers it. Big God. Don't forget, if you're just popping on here, the NWA Emergency Preparedness Fair is this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Swing by, say hi. Zach Gilday will be there. However, this young man will not. But there's for good reason. There's good reason. You're going to the Big D. And I don't mean Dallas.
Yes.
No, we do mean Dallas.
Yeah.
You know that song, right?
Yeah, I do know that song.
I'm
Yes.
going through the big D and don't mean Dallas. I can't believe what the judge had to tell us.
I know that song.
I got the Jeep, she got the palace. I'm going through the big me and don't mean Dallas. All right. There's your song for the night.
Yeah.
I'm smoking meat, frustrating, taking more charcoal. All right.
How about that?
Taking more charcoal. It means need more charcoal.
Need
to
more
smoke
charcoal.
The meat.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that does it. Have a good one. We'll see you later, and hopefully we'll see you at the Emergency Preparedness Fair on Saturday. Until then, have a good one, and we'll be watching Hermine and Fiona close.
Yes.
Any last words?
Go Hogs.
That's the last words.
Yes.